In 1999, police in a small South Australian town made a discovery that would shock the nation. Inside a disused bank vault, in a building locals walked past every day, they found 8 barrels. Inside those barrels were the remains of 11 human beings. The case that followed would be called Australia's worst serial killing. But what made Snowtown different wasn't just the body count. It was the people behind it. Ordinary men, neighbors, a stepfather, a community that had looked the other way or hadn't looked at all. This is the story of how a culture of violence, poverty, and manipulation produced one of the darkest chapters in Australian history. John Justin Bunting arrived in Salisbury North in the early 1990s. He was charismatic, loud, and full of conviction. He claimed to hate pedophiles. His first known victim was Clinton Trezise, killed in 1992. Trezise was a young man Bunting decided was a pedophile, based on nothing more than rumor. Bunting had a list. Names of people he deemed sexual deviants or welfare cheats. The list was a death warrant dressed up as moral justice. He wasn't working alone. Robert Wagner became his close associate. Later, Mark Hayden and a young Jamie Vlasakis would be drawn into the circle. What set Snowtown apart was what Bunting did next. He didn't just murder his victims, he kept them alive on paper to collect their welfare payments. In 1998, the group began using a disused bank in Snowtown. It was remote enough, private enough. Inside, they stored the barrels. On the 20th of May 1999, police received a tip. What they found inside the vault stopped seasoned investigators cold. 11 victims in 8 barrels. Identifying the victims took time. DNA testing, still relatively new in forensic practice, was central to the process. 12 victims were ultimately identified. John Bunting was convicted of 11 murders in 2003. He was sentenced to 11 concurrent life terms with no possibility of parole. He will die in prison. The town of Snowtown has tried, quietly, to move on. The bank was demolished. Residents carry the weight of a name and a history that has nothing to do with them. The 12 victims each had names, families, lives that were interrupted. Do not let the killer's name eclipse the people he took. Remember them.